there, this is Dr. Mounir. I hope you are all doing well and safe. Today I wanted to speak about how to choose the right size implant for your breast enhancement. So I would like to do this through a presentation and I would like to invite you to join me. There we go. Hello again, this is Dr. Mounir. I'm going to speak about, like I said, about how to measure or how to choose the size of your implant for your breast enhancement. Before I start talking about it, I would like to stress about something very, very important. Number one, this is not a science exact. There is no real computer that you will give the patient the height, the weight, photo of the breast, and he will tell you exactly what is the size of the implant so you can achieve the final cup size that you want to have to meet her expectation. It doesn't exist. Yes, I agree. There is some computer simulation like Crystalis, where picture is taken of your breast, you put it in the system, and the computer will enhance the breast depending on the volume you ask him to add to the simulation. But again, regardless whether the computer simulation or whether when I ask you to do something called a bra test, which is giving you some sizer you put in your bra and you have a look in the mirror and see which one you like, even then there is no guarantee as to the final cup size. So I do not want you to feel there is Dr. Mounir is speaking how to choose the size of your implant, and based on that he's going to give me exactly the size I want to meet exactly the cup size I want. I wish it wasn't that easy. It's not that simple, honestly. So, but what we do is we try to find some way, scientific way, to achieve a result which is acceptable and close to what the patient wants. So, the first thing I think you need to do is to know your bra size. And the bra size is very important. The bra size is usually to measure the fullest part of your breast here and under the breast, and the difference between them. Let's say here you are 34 and here you are 36. 36 minus 34, it means there's a 2 inches difference. So 2 inches difference, it means that this is the 2 inches difference. It means that you are a B cup. Simple as that. There is different way in measuring the breast. Some people, they will ask you to bend over to measure it. And when you go to buy a bra, usually they will ask you to keep the bra on to measure the fullest part of the breast and the lowest part of the breast to measure the difference between them. But when I do my consultation, I usually ask the patient to take off the bra so I can measure and get a precise measurement. Now, this cup size is very important for me because it will help me to know, knowing the difference between your bend and the fullest part of your breast, calculating your cup size. It will help me to know how much volume you. Okay, so it is very important to know the cup size for the simple reason is because for me to know the cup size, it's important because if you are, let's say, 32 A cup size, I will guess that you have already in your breast about 240 cc. So for me to give you one cup size more, if you are, let's say, E cup, I want to give you B cup. So I need to give you another 200 cc implant about. Why? Because one cup size is between 150 to 200 cc. So giving you 180, 170, 200 cc implant will take you to a B cup. Now, if you are an E cup and you tell me, Dr. Mounir, I want to go to a C cup, I will start to think I need to give you one cup size, like I just said, is about 150 cc. So 2 cup size is about 300 cc. So giving you 350 cc, I should take you to a nice full C. And so on. What I would like to explain to you is very important, this point. It's a cup, the implant, they don't come in A cup or B cup or C cup. It doesn't work that way. The implant, they come in cc. They are full with volume and they are full with milliliter or cc. So there is an implant which is 200 cc, 220, 240. They go by 20 cc or 30 cc, bigger and bigger and bigger and fuller and fuller. So as you know, the volume of your breast, what you have already, plus the size of the implant together, combined together, will give me a full cup size. Yeah. So really achieving the cup size that the patient want to ask, she's asking you to achieve, you need to know, you need to measure the breast, the width of the breast, the height of the breast, you need to measure the cup size, you need to make sure that you know how much volume she has before you give her the implant that you will say that, look, if we do this implant, you will more or less achieve the cup size you want to have. So now, in order to do and to go through this process, choosing the implant size is really a process. Performing a breast enhancement on a patient is really a journey. And really, the consultation is the first step in that journey, in my opinion. So, because the surgeon needs to know who you are and what you do, who you are in terms of life activity. Are you athlete? Are you bodybuilder? Are you somebody physically? Which kind of work do you do? Do you work using your arm, your muscles, your pectoralis muscle? Are you someone who is actually no? You sit on a desk most of the time. You're working on a computer. More importantly, are you someone who show her breast for living, for example, model or something? So you need to discuss these things with the patient, knowing who she is. And also you need to understand what is the social perception the patient expects. If you have a patient who does not want to have people knowing or noticing that she has got an implant, then you gotta be careful not to give her a big implant, otherwise you are running in trouble. So really, my opinion is you need to make the patient proactive in making the decision to choose the implant. I think the wrong thing to do is you as a surgeon, you decide for the patient what implant she should have. It's based on a full consultation, and I personally usually do 2 consultations. The first one is just to know who is the patient and what does she expect, and examine her breast, measure her breast, and only then I let her go and think about it. I will ask her to try some implant to do the blood test, and then I will let her go away and think about it. The second consultation will be more even deeper. It's a journey, like I said. So, and you want to know if the patient is actually socially shy or not. It's very important. One thing I want to add before I move on to the next slide is that the fact that patients need to accept one thing, that no matter the implant you're going to put in your breast, you need to accept the fact that people, they will notice. There is a say in French, it says, you can't make an omelette without breaking the eggs. So if you put an implant in your breast, there is a high chance that people, they will notice that you have a breast enhancement. So I wanted just to make you aware of that. So now, how do I ask my patient to try the implant? I usually don't use computer simulation. I don't use Crystalis, but what I do is I use the Mounir volume sizing system. And the volume sizing system is really something like this. It looks like it's empty inside. There's a hollowness inside. This is where the breast will come inside, to sit inside. The breast will sit inside like this, inside. This is where the breast goes in, and it's concave inside, concave outside, like this. You can see it. So if I imagine this is the breast, when you put it inside the sizer, it will cover the whole breast and it will add the volume. So sometimes patients, they think this is the implant they are going to have. Actually, no, the implant is really depending whether you are going to have a round implant, it will be this one, or it's going to be this one if you are choosing to have a teardrop implant. I had one here, so it's here. So it will be this one here, there. So that's the teardrop implant. It's flatter at the top, fuller at the bottom. I just wanted to say that once you try the implant, I advise my patient to take photo of the implant inside the bra, because when they go to speak to the mom, to the partner, to the sister, to the friend, it's better to discuss it with someone you trust the opinion of them. And it's better to take a photo with the whole body in, profile-wise, to see the balance between the upper and the lower body. Let me say this, even if it sounds really strange, if someone has got really a flat backside, flat bum, and if you have a full implant, it will look not in proportion. So if someone has got more of curvy body, so when you put the implant, it looks more imbalanced. So this is why it's really important to take photos while you try the implant, so you can remember what it did look like when you leave the clinic, when you leave the consultation. Before you finalize and you decide on choosing the implant, there is other things that I will be speaking about in my next video, next few videos. Meaning, is the implant going to be round? Is the implant going to be teardrop? Is the implant going to be texture, smooth? Is it going to go over the muscle, under the muscle? All these things that it's very important to discuss them carefully with the patient, to explain and the why and how, because it all depends on the patient. There is one answer for all the patient. So if you have a lady like this one here on the photo who has got, she is a bodybuilder, because of the fat burning, she has only skin. So you need to discuss with her what you're going to do and what kind of the implant. And you need to discuss with her whether you're going to go for, which profile of the implant you're going to go for. It's very, the profile of the implant, like I just said, if you see on the photo here, if you see, the profile here is low, and then it goes higher. The projection goes higher, and it goes even more higher until you go to the ultra high profile. Here we have the high profile projection, and we have the ultra high profile projection. By the way, there is one implant missing here. It's called the extra high projection. And the extra is a new implant. Is really good for people who are worried about having rippling. Now, like I said, how to choose this profile, it depends on the body shape of the patient. If you see the difference between here, Victoria and Williams here, you will see Vanessa here, Williams and Victoria Beckham, you will see that one has got a smaller frame and the other, she has got a wider frame. You can't advise Victoria to have a moderate plus projection because otherwise the implant is too wide and it will be sticking under her armpit. So you should really thinking maybe to go for a high profile, or actually I prefer for Victoria to go for ultra high profile, because it will reduce the risk of the rippling and it will not project on the side. For this lady, Williams, I would go for a wider implant, maybe a moderate plus profile, and it will give her a very natural look, I think. So depending on the patient, this is something I'm going to be discussing in my next video about the texture of the implant, about the profile of the implant. That will be the subject of my next video. There we go. We arrived to the end. And like I was saying, this young lady, when she came to see me, I knew that she was someone who is a model. She is presenting bikinis, presenting. So I had to work based on her expectation, work on how she wanted to look. And it was really more than one or two consultation. I really wanted to make sure that she will achieve the result she wanted. Thank you very much for watching, and I have just to ask you one favor before I finish, is to log or to go to my website, drmounir.com, and there is a post about, because I have many questions. When are you going to open to business? When is the surgery people they are going to be operating again? When consultation they will start all over again? And I tried to put some article, something just to answer these questions. And I would be very thankful if you could ask me more questions by commenting on the article I did put on. It's on blog. I have a blog on my website. If you click Dr. Mounir blog, and then you will have the article. And if you have any question, you are very welcome to ask me anything you want. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.